anybody know what this plant is?
I think it's, oh, I thought it was a yopon.
No, this is not yopon. Nope, you see
It's
that
too green.
leaves
It's
are
not
opposite.
silver.
And this is this is actually sold as a shrub, and they use the more colorful version of it. It's called a variegated privet. This is actually a Chinese privet. It has herbal uses in Chinese medicine. If you look up Chinese privet and read about it, you can, on the herbal side of it, you can learn about. I don't know much about that portion of it. I've never used it in that way. That's not why I'm talking about this plant today. This plant is useful in many, many ways otherwise. It's, as a kid, I was wore out by this particular tree here on a regular basis. This was a switch tree. But because of that same principle of it being a switch, it becomes very, very useful for weaving, making baskets, making fish traps, doing anything along those lines. If you find these inside of a wooded area where there's a canopy, the tree will shoot straight up looking for light, and it will make long, straight, very straight. It is a strong wood. It really is. The fibers are long. It makes a really good bow. It makes really good spears. It's really good building material, and it's very easy to work with. Like, it's got good flexibility, but even for a big plant, if you make it past a 9 degree, it'll break. Now you can do stuff with it. And actually, a larger version of this can be made basically like a set of tweezers, and you can pick up coals out of a fire or anything else with it. All right. Any questions about this plant at all? Oh, I'll tell you a few other things about it so that you might be able to. When you see this plant, when it's fruiting, it will have black elongated berries, bunches of them, just hanging on. When it's in bloom, it's white flowers. Again, as far as eating it, nothing. There are Chinese herbal remedies that are made with it. Chinese use a lot of stuff, man. So it's really, unless you really know, you don't know. But the plant is useful for reasons beyond edibility. This plant, who knows what this is? That is a goldenrod. Now, you will see this plant. You will see several species of this plant around here. There's so many different types of goldenrod. Anybody know anything else about goldenrod?
It's medicinal somehow.
It is medicinal. The younger leaves, and when I say younger, they don't necessarily have to be younger, but about the mid of the stalk here. You can use these to make tinctures, to make teas, to chew, and just about like any other herb. And I say this not even reluctantly, but I get some resistance. When people ask what's the best herb, it's kind of like, what herb do you have? Because most of them pretty much cover a lot of the same stuff. They just sort of help. This is said to help with allergies, flu symptoms, cold symptoms. Now, as a herb and as an edible, it's really not. Well, as an edible, it's not hardly useful at all. You could nibble on the flowers when they're full of pollen, and that will actually help you with pollen allergies to some degree. You can take them when they're orange, and if you look, let's see, I know that there's a specimen that has a yellow top on it here somewhere.
It's right there.
Can you see it? I can't see it.
Yep.
Okay, that one there, while it's in bloom, it's full of pollen. And you can taste it. You'll even taste the sweetness on it. Um, how many of you have heard goldenrod as upsetting your allergies? Yeah, not true at all. Not true at all. Number one, the pollen grains on goldenrod are pretty large. They not really airborne in that way. Uh, they actually produce a large amount of pollen for the local bees. They work really well in that way. This plant is in one stage of its life, and let me rephrase that. This plant is at any given stage of its life almost year round here, depending on what species you're talking about. So it's really easy to find. Now, this particular plant, the goldenrod, and I would even argue that this is a different species of goldenrod than this. And the reason that I say that is because of how this one branched up out of the top, and this one has the single. And that's one of the ways to tell the many, many different species of goldenrod apart. One of my favorite things about this plant is not its herbal uses, and it's not, definitely not its food uses, but how combustible it is. This right here, because of the surface area, and everything, you know, it's been raining for several days now. That's wet, but because of the surface area, it does not matter. It immediately catches fire. Now, the stem, this is a goldenrod stem. Okay, this is a piece of cottonwood. These two put together are one of the better hand drills that we have available here. Right behind yucca is actually really good, but the goldenrod for a spindle, and this is because it has a bit of a hard woody outside and a piffy inside. And what ends up happening is that the middle pith wears in, and so you have basically a pipe now that's doing double layers of friction. You got the outside friction and the inside friction. And this, I teach a little more. I will touch on it during the fire and water class, but I will not for this class, will we do on friction fires. If somebody showed up and wanted to do one, I would definitely help them out with it. Anything else that you guys can think about goldenrod at all? No? All right. Awesome.